We are live, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Took us something to get here tonight. I was having technical difficulties, and Adria is still having them. So she won't actually be joining us tonight. So with that being said, the famous words of Celia off the color purple, I'm here. So hopefully you all are here. So it's not going to go as smooth as it normally goes with my girl involved, Adria. So please share this with a friend, family member. If you're just entering to the into the chat, please post your questions. Again, I'm going solo tonight. AP is what I call her for short, is not available because her internet went down and it was somewhat last minute, so she couldn't change locations. I thought I was going to have to do the same thing. I went out and actually bought a modem to get going because my internet was just so slow and I knew it wouldn't work for this. So again, if you're in the chat, say what's up. And I'm going to try to go from Facebook to YouTube to Instagram. So, what's going on Instagram? Tanya Tay, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thanks for watching and following the stuff that I have. So if you want, please share this with a family member, friend, or whatever. So it's going to be a little crazy. I don't have my executive producer, Adria, with me tonight. So I'm going to try to read questions from Facebook, from Instagram and YouTube. So if you all are bear with me, I will try to do my best. So what up, Max? What up, Jeremy, Sydney, Kim? I don't want to miss anybody up here. Elton, Passion Dobson, Paperboy Forever, Linda Moore, Erica Beard, Option Strategy LLC, Tylus. So you can go ahead and start banging out the questions. As I said, I'll try to go from Instagram to YouTube to Facebook. I'll do my best while I'm alone. So again, my girl Adria is not going to be here tonight. Please bear with me. I hadn't did it solo in a minute. She made it so much easier so I can get in a lot more questions. So I see my first question here is from YouTube from Rachel. Best time of day to put out vanity signs, put up vanity signs. I'll put them out at any point in reality, but the best day, the best way, she said that's the best times. The best times, I'm a daylight person. I've done it at night once, and that was when I first started. I said, I forget that crap. But so I'll put them up just whenever. You know, it's already hard enough to get out and put them out, so I'll put them out wherever. Now, the best days, I think, are Saturday morning and Sunday morning. Less traffic in most cases. But I'll put them out any day of the week in reality. So see if we got something over here from Facebook. So if I'm looking to my right here, I have two laptops set up here. So Colin from Facebook says, Colin, I think is it Colin or Corinne? Oh, it's Corinne from Facebook. Posted here. I posted my home for sale and I get a lot of people who want to buy the house with a mortgage. How do you work with those type of buyers? Well, in reality, you can't really work with those type of buyers because you can't get paid. Now, I'm sure there's some creative ways out there to do it, but I'm not going to recommend anything like that because normally it entails somebody doing something that they shouldn't be doing. So I'm going to tell you that if they don't have cash, Corinne, more than likely you don't have an opportunity there. All right, so let me go back to Instagram right quick. A mobile home wholesale lead. How do I know whether to wholesale or owner finance? If the owner financing is an option, it's all going to be based on price. Once you determine the value of that particular mobile home, then I'm looking crazy here doing this, but that mobile home, if the price is not cheap enough for you to turn it quick, then owner financing will probably be your option. All right. So now these are scrolling down a little faster than what I want. So you may have to repeat your question. I'm gonna go back up here to see if I can start, at the top. All right. Billy from YouTube says, got a property on the contract in a war zone. The street only has 4 good houses on it, and taxes are making it attractive to buyers. I avoid those. If you got a lot of vacant houses on a particular street, that's the same thing that an investor is going to see. Now, with that being said, some guys will look at that as opportunity. So if you can get it cheap enough, tied up, start putting bandit signs out in the area and placing that on Craigslist or whatever. And you never know. So if you can get it cheap enough, but normally you're gonna have to get that dirt cheap. So let me see here. Do we have anything else from Facebook? All right. Dennis says, what happens if, no, I don't want to read his further. It says, all right. Anthony from Facebook said, what would be the best advice you would give a beginner on flipping houses? Well, now understand that flipping and wholesaling well, let me just say wholesaling is my definition is a form of flipping. So I'm assuming you're referring to wholesaling. That's what I'm going to assume. I'm gonna try to pull this Facebook up on my phone, so I want to keep looking over to the right. Again, Adrian is not going to be here tonight. She was having some issues with her internet, and I was also earlier today. I went out and actually bought a new modem, but I don't even think that was the issue. So I'll probably take it back and get my money back and restart my other one. Well, I'll do that first, but again, she won't be here tonight. So let me see if I can see the questions here. But again, she won't be here tonight. So let me see if I can see the questions here. All right, I can see them here on my phone now, so that'll help a little bit. All right. So yeah, his question was about where should you start flipping? Well, the first thing you want to always do is educate yourself. Depending on what you're going to do is what you're going to do. Buy, fix, and flip if you have the money or the resources to do that. Or if you're going to do wholesaling. If you're going to wholesale, then it's all about educating yourself and then taking action by getting your phone to ring with motivated sellers. If you can find a great deal, you can get paid and get paid handsomely as a wholesaler. So the first thing you would do is educate yourself. There are a lot of ways to do it. Most of it is going to be paid. There are a few books out there, but most of them are going to be incomplete for most people. They're going to be just a generalization of the process. From my understanding, I'm not a reader. Some of you all may can correct me on that. But with that being said, if you're not aware, you're on Facebook. So this may be your first introduction to me. If not, then I will let those that don't know that should know is that I have over 200 plus videos on YouTube. All you have to do is just go to YouTube and do a search for the Flip Man. So again, Adrian is not going to be here tonight. I'm running solo, so this is going to be a little not as smooth as it's been going. The purpose of her joining me was to make it a lot more smoother than it had been going. So let me read another one from YouTube. Let me see here to make sure I don't miss nothing. Okay. Billy says, got a property on the contract in a war zone. Oh, I read that one already. Paperboy says, do you think purchasing a stamp and making your own signs economically is sound, I'm assuming is what he means. Well, you could do your own handwritten signs or a stamp or a stencil or whatever. It just depends on how much you value your time. Bandit signs are very inexpensive. You're talking a couple of $100 for a couple of hundred signs, one color, 9 by 24, 12 by 18. One deal. Now, if you're starting out, you have to do what you have to do. But again, we're talking $200. You get a part-time job or whatever you need to do extra to come up with that money. That's not a lot of money. Even before I got into this, and now I could do some extra stuff, even if it took me a few months to save it, to come up with a couple $100. So I'm going to recommend it. Printed signs. Now, again, something is better than nothing, but the less professional they look, the more you're going to probably have to do, unless you're really good at creating handwritten signs. A lot of people don't even know what to start with the right marker. So that's why I tell people really not to do, even though I have a couple of videos on handwritten signs. But what I realized, most people, they don't get that the marker is more important than anything. The stroke needs to be very wide. People use a thin marker. How can they see that? Are you kidding me? I see that all the time here locally. It may be for real estate, or it may be a garage sale or something or whatever, or a car wash. You're not well, but I'm into marketing, so that's why I may notice those things an average person does, because then that's not their thing. So I get it. All right, so let me see what else we got from Facebook. I won't forget about you, Instagram. Let me see if I can get one from Instagram. I guess I can put it up on my phone too here. Hold on a second, if I want to be reaching over here. Well, no, I can't. No, I can't. Let me see. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to see if I can do this on Instagram. Also, I can't. I have it on another phone. So, all right. So I'm gonna read another one from Facebook. All right. Steve says, can I make an offer to an owner directly without getting the realtor involved at all? I'm assuming Steve from Facebook means that the property is already listed. No, if the property is listed, you need to go through the agent. Now, sometimes sellers will reach out to you and let you know that they have the property listed. At that point, just depends on how much time they have left. From my understanding, they can counsel and deal with you as long as their agent has never, dealt with you. I think they're okay legally on that. But if they have an agent, if the seller hasn't reached out to you, I would strongly recommend just going through the agent. It's just my opinion. All right, now back to Facebook. All right, let me see here. All right, Michael Woody from Phoenix City, the PC. Go CBCC Pirates. That's what's happening. That's not too far from me. I have a couple of good buddies from Phoenix City. Webb from Ohio. What up to you, Webb? So a question from Jeremy. Different ways to market, any unique ways, or should I stay cheap? Well, I did a video on a technique that I've discovered over the last few weeks. Already found a deal with it. Should be an $8,000 take. I'm gonna split it with a student that did the legwork as far as calling sellers. Obviously, bandit signs, obviously direct mail, but on the flip side of direct mail, that list that you can buy, a good percentage of, we'll just say 15 to 20% of that list, you can actually get phone numbers for. And nothing is going to be faster outside of them calling you from a bandit sign than you picking up the phone versus direct mail and just calling them, asking them if they're interested in selling their property, their absentee property. So obviously you can do some social media, still trying to figure out that monster, a website. But with a website, you got to get people to know that it exists. So that can get expensive using Google AdWords, Facebook ads, Bing, and so on. So then now just some free stuff that you can do whenever you're trying to find deals. You can obviously target stuff that's for sale by owner online, but you have to be unique. Understand that it's not like those properties are secret. So you're going to have the right type of buyers for that. Some buyers don't want properties that they could have made offers on themselves, and then some won't care. So if you have the right type of buyers, you can roll with that. I like to, which I have a couple of videos on it, target landlords. I don't care if you're doing direct mail, bandit signs, or whatever. The biggest one group of people that are going to call you about selling a property is tired landlords. So you can be proactive and target properties that are already for rent. Now, understand that a lot of those listings are going to be listed by property management companies and or realtors. So, you can sift through those, but your ideal contact is reaching out to an actual owner of the property. A lot of times offline, when you see those just generic red and white signs that say for rent, or black and white that say for rent, that's a strong possibility that's the owner that placed that sign there. You can deal directly with them. And when you call them, you ask him, is the property still available? Whether he says yes or no, you ask, well, I didn't call about renting it. Would you be interested in selling it? Whether he says yes or no, well, if he says yes, you take the information, but you also want to ask if he has other properties. And if he says no, you want to ask him, since he doesn't want to sell that property, does he have any other properties he would be interested in selling? So hopefully those are a few ways that you can try to find some deals. All right, let me go back to Facebook here. Dennis on Facebook says, what happens if you don't get a buyer? Well, you can go back to the seller and ask for more time and they give it to you, or you can go back to the seller and ask for more time and they don't give it to you. If they don't give it to you, they keep your earnest money, you go your way, they go their way. Pretty much that simple. It's really just that simple. That's part of the reason earnest money is submitted. No matter how much it is, $10 or $1,000 or $10,000, whatever the number is, that satisfies the deal. So that's what happens if you can't find a buyer. All right, let me see here. What else we got? So back to YouTube. Again, Adria is not here tonight, guys. I really hate it. She makes this go a lot smoother when she's here versus just me solo, because I have to try to sift through the questions, go back and forth between the different platforms. So just bear with me on this. All right, Elton from YouTube says, what is the best way to flip a contract without the buyer knowing you don't own the property and the seller knowing you're not the buyer? Well, I guess you could do a double close, but see what happens is, well, you could do a double close if you want, if that's your thing. You're trying to hide that, but you probably obviously hadn't watched a lot of my videos because I don't see a need for it. Sellers getting what you all agreed upon. The buyer's getting what you all agreed upon. Well, where's the issue? Everybody's happy on closing day. Seller's happy, buyer's happy. You're definitely happy. Closing attorney's happy, or title company. Everybody's happy. It's not an issue just to assign. But to answer your question, you would do a double close. All right. See if we got anything else on Facebook. All right, we don't. All right, so again on YouTube, let me see if I can see this is on, I'm having trouble reading it on Instagram. I'll go from Instagram. What site do you recommend for finding the owner's phone number? Well, Google is your friend. Google it. and the address, and site's going to populate. Now, asking that detailed question that goes into findsellers.net or findowners.net. If you're interested in knowing more about how to do or perform that task that I'm talking about, that I offer, simply go there and dive in and then take advantage of that option. So, but again, I'm just going to give you the generic answer from Instagram. You can go to Google, place in the person's name and their address, and a lot of times if the number is public, it'll be right there on Google. So on one of the search results. All right, another one from Instagram. I made homemade banner signs and just make the lines stick with every color. Oh, they just making a statement. Yeah, that's what you need to do. But most people don't understand to do that. You know, they'll buy just a normal marker or whatever and just write whatever their message is. We buy houses, phone number, and the stroke is so thin. You have to think about it. People are trying to read your message from a distance. If you notice on the printed signs, the lettering is not thin. So why would it be thin when you're handwriting it? You know, so again, most people don't know that. So it is what it is. That's why I stopped recommending handwritten signs for sellers. Now with buyers, you still need to try to do it right. But for sellers, I just stopped recommending it because most people just not going to get it. I just stopped recommending, even though as I said, I have a couple of videos out there that say that discuss that. Someone from Instagram says, what are the best ways to find buyers? The best way to find buyers is allow your deals to find your buyers. If you advertise a great deal, you can only sell it to one person, but 10 people may call you, 20 may call you. So those other 19, you'll collect their information for future deals. The best way to build a buyer's list is having great deals and letting people know it exists. That's the best way to create a buyer's list, in my opinion. Focus on the deal. Buyers are easy if you have a great deal. You don't have a deal that's hitting on anything, buyers won't contact you. Or if you don't do a great job of letting people know, which is not difficult, letting people know it exists. All right, well, so we'll go back to YouTube. Let me do a few from YouTube because it's piling up here. Again, guys, Adrian is not here tonight, so bear with me. I'm going solo here. All right. All right, say, can you end a contract because the seller is still posting a property on Craigslist? I do have clauses in my contract to sell only under mine while contract is active. I don't know if I'm sure what you mean by that, Kim. That's if you found the property on Craigslist and the ad is still there. Obviously, you can ask them to take it down, but that doesn't mean that they're going to do it. That's part of the problem with trying to wholesale properties that are already being advertised. But I guess you could end the contract, but you know, it would have to be some specific verbiage there that they can't actively advertise the property while it's on the contract. So, so I guess you could if your contract states that. All right, what's going on, Cosby Reyes? All right, Cash from Cutler, I think is the name of this individual. When should I start talking numbers when trying to get a property on the contract? Should I try to set a face-to-face meeting or try to make a deal over the phone? It's rare that I'm going to even go view a property unless the numbers work over the phone. And it starts by simply asking them, paying all cash and closing quickly, what's the least amount you will accept? So you're asking the question, you know, your goal whenever you're negotiating is to try to get their least amount. Sometimes they won't give you a price. So that's when you're forced to go into the lowball mode and offer something just a ridiculous amount. So You're not expecting them to probably accept it. Sometimes they will, but your follow-up will be, well, how close do you come to that amount? So if the numbers work, you roll with it. If they don't, thank them for their time. Let them know if anything changes to give you a call back. All right. Natalie from YouTube says, thanks for the advice last week. Seller who mailed the keys, I offered $20,000 and the seller accepted. Accepted. I guess I mean accept the ARV is $190 and the repairs are $90. Woo, well, that's a lot of repairs. So $110. But yeah, you still sound like you have an opportunity there, Natalie. Congratulations. Let us know if you close that baby. Carlos, are your contracts successful in California? Yes. Just do a search of Carlos for a video I did a few months back with Chris out in California, Southern California, $21,500 on his first deal. He texted me a couple of weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago. And, or what is that? 1 June. So it would have been May. In the month of May, he did 60 grand. So yeah, we're using my contract right there in California. So yes, sir. All right. Linda Moore. I had a listing agent call me regarding a yellow letter the owners received. How do I handle speaking with the listing agent? Should I try to work out an offer with her? Yes, it's no, well, it is different than with an agent, but if the agent called you, you let them know where can I submit an offer? And do they want to write up an actual agreement? The agent can write up an actual agreement. You can tell them what the price is, or you can tell them to write up everything but the price, and you'll fill in the price, on the contract and email it back to them. But to answer your question, yes, offers are free for sure. All right, let me see if I got anything here on Facebook again. All right, someone from Facebook, Steve again, he says how to find absentee owners. Well, there's going to be a lot of ways. Now, you can buy an absentee owner list, Steve, from listsource.com or melissa.com. I'm assuming that's what you mean. But I have several videos on that on YouTube also. Another question from Facebook. Her name is Samantha. My friend is ready to turn over the keys, no equity. 4 months behind, owes how much is bought, owes what it was bought for. Do I have any options, or should I just walk away? Well, if it's a really nice house, meaning it's in really good condition, those 4 months payment, someone will probably be glad to make a down payment and include that amount. Well, let's just for the sake of just giving you some quick math, Samantha, say they owe, we'll just say $4,000 back. Well, we'll just say $5,000 in back payments. And again, depending on how nice the house is, you may be able to get someone to give you $7,500 or 10 grand down on the owner finance situation, rent to own. And you just let your friend know that, hey, I'm going to let them deal directly with you. But there's a possibility that they don't pay, but your friend has already walked away anyway. So yeah, there may be an opportunity there, Samantha, to do that. That's what I would do. Now, dealing with friends is always tricky. So just keep that in mind. Even though they walked away or whatever from the property, found out you made some money on it, even though you told them you were going to make money on it, depending on their financial situation, it could get a little dicey. So beware of that for sure. All right. I guess this is Melanie from Williams from Facebook. Are your contracts being used in Oklahoma and Arkansas? I live in a border town ready to do deals in both. They'll work in Oklahoma and Arkansas. To answer your question, yes. Aaliyah Reeves from Facebook, are lease options better than regularly wholesaling a deal? It's going to just depend on your preference, Aaliyah, as far as which one is better, because you can actually use lease options as the way to produce cash flow, but you have to get into understanding you're going to manage the property, and if you're going to do right, you know, sometimes you'll get a tenant in a property, even though they've given you a significant down payment, and they won't make the first payment. So you have to be prepared, number one, to make those payments if they stop making them, and then getting them evicted out of there. But also understanding that in that process of them being evicted, there's a possibility they tear up the property. It may need to be repaired before you can rent it out again and get a new tenant. On the flip side of that, you can set up the actual terms and wholesale the terms to the actual tenant buyer. So just my preference, I prefer to just deal with straight wholesale cash deals, less misunderstanding by far, and just move on me in and out. So that's just going to be a preference thing, more so which one is better than the other. All right, so back to YouTube. From Ontario, California. Jason says, I'm looking to complete my first wholesale flip. Anyone have any suggestions or live near the that wouldn't mind helping me out? I guess he's asking a question. And he says, your content is the best out here. Thanks, Jason, for the compliment. All right. Erica says, exactly, overload on videos, books, webinars, need a mentor to get action going. I'm lost. Well, Erica, flipman.net, you can get a mentor, baby. I'm ready to work with you. Sign up. Let's get it. All right. She buys houses from YouTube. Wow. Okay. She buys houses. I live in, I guess this is Alton, Illinois. And I made my first deal last week, 629. I made $10,000. All right. She buy houses. We would love to hear more about your deal. You can reach out to me if you want to share your story to others. If you don't mind going on camera, just send me a text, 205-492-3425. All right. What we got here? Again, Adria's not here tonight. Her internet was out, so it was last minute. Please bear with me. I'm trying to work with this going between YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So what we have here is Denise Young from YouTube. I have my first property under contract for $42,000. It's a duplex. When I called a cash buyer, he knew the owner of the property by name. He instantly stated that the property is only worth 10 to 15K. All right. Don't get discouraged on that, Destiny, from YouTube. That guy may be right, but he may be wrong. That may just be what he's willing to pay. So don't get discouraged on just that one individual. Market your property on Craigslist, obviously. But what you want to also do, put out some handwritten bandit signs. And I strongly don't really suggest that with the seller side, but something is better than nothing. But on the buyer side, put out some bandit signs, duplex for sale, 58K cash, and your phone number. Your phone should ring pretty good on that. So put out about 15 to 20 in the area, not on the property, but in the area itself. Good luck to you. Let us know if you can get something going. Hopefully you have a good deal there, a great deal there. You can get paid. All right. Hen from YouTube again. Do you get a lot of pre-foreclosure deals? If so, can you slightly explain your steps? Well, to answer your question, no. I don't even get a lot of those opportunities that even come my way through my marketing. I have over the years, as the date of this video, I've been doing this 14 plus years, but I don't get that a lot of those opportunities. But on the flip side of that, I don't even pursue those. If the equity is not already there, I'm not going to wait on the bank to try to give me the equity, but through the short sale process. And I'm not telling anyone else not to do it. I just don't have the patience to wait 60, sometimes 90 days. They may do it in 30 days, and they come back and not even close to the price that I need to make the deal work. Now, some people make a lot of money using short sales, but again, I don't have the organizational skill. That's one of my weaknesses, and definitely don't have the patience for those deals and just dealing with banks and all you have to do to put a package together and so on. So again, I'm not telling you not to do it. It's just not my thing. I have done a couple over the years, but they were not the traditional way. We basically, one of them, I know I've done two, but I'm just, by memory, I know one of them, we really called them the day of the closing and they gave us a payoff, but it was a situation, they were behind in payment. So it was in that phase of pre-foreclosure and they gave us a payoff, gladly. We didn't want a BPO and to get all the seller's financial information, all that stuff you have to put together. They just gave us a price and it worked and we rolled with it, boom. Deal closed. All right. But I know that's not often. So let me see if I got anything else from Facebook. Let me go back. I'm neglecting Instagram here. Someone says ARV is 130, repairs 15, offer 65, good deal. This is from Instagram. 15 will put it at 80. All right. And it's doable. You can make a few grand off of that, depending on how that particular market is. I would probably put it out there maybe at 95 or whatever. So if it's a 130 area. So definitely something that I would pursue. I would probably try to get it a lot cheaper than 65. If you could get it down in the low 50s, or you'll have a home run. All right. So let me go back to Facebook. All right. Anthony from Facebook says, what are some good websites you like to use that are helpful? I like to use the county website for the one that I target the most here locally. I guess a couple of ways we can go by this. Obviously, I use ListSource and Melissa Data when I'm trying to do direct mail or when I'm trying to create a phone number list for absentee owners. There's a good app. I'll have it the next time we have a Flippinar that I use that can pull up property information also. What else do I use? Obviously, Zillow is good. The sites that are like it, Trulia, HomeSnap, Homes, all of those sites. And I did a recent video. I forgot. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So I can mention this. The most recent video that I released, I think, was either Sunday or Monday. Top 3 ways to calculate ARV house values. Check out that video and you'll see the sites that I really like to use and how I go about pulling information or whatever. So just off the top of my head, that's a good question. If I think of something else while we're going on here, I will. But those are just the basics that I use just to pull information. It's just all about information for the most part. Back to YouTube from Destiny again. The upstairs, this is on that property. The upstairs has fire damage, but the downstairs is not bad. I valued the house at 157. Okay. Yeah, at Destiny, wow, if it's fire damage, they could easily spend 75 to 100 grand. That's leaves. It's gonna be tight, Destiny, on that one. It's gonna be tight. Maybe you can find a buyer, but it's gonna be tight with fire damage. It can get really pricey in repairs whenever you have fire damaged property. So hopefully I answered your the question that you had after this also. Samuel says, sorry, I'm late, Flip Man. Had to get my girl the link. No problem, Samuel, from YouTube. Glad you joined. Hopefully your girlfriend is here also. I'm assuming that's what you meant. Chauncey in Atlanta, what's going on? Jason. He was more or less responding to Destiny. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, on that, what Jason's saying, that Destiny, it may be, you may have to go back to the owner and see if he would do some owner financing. Someone would take on that project if they can get it on some terms. Because if it has some significant fire damage and there's a lot of square footage, which sound like it is, it's going to take a little bread to fix that property. So again, so we're back here on YouTube. Again, Adrian is not here tonight. She had some technical issues. Wasn't sure I was going to be here. I had to go out and buy another modem. Mine died. I called the cable company about my internet, and they said it was the route. I'm sorry, I said the modem, the router. And so I went and bought another one. So, but I got it to work so fast. Maybe I'm gonna try to hook my other one back up to get my $200 back. But anyway, I'm here, guys, for you. So tonight, let me see what else I have here. Where are we? Ooh, y'all got a lot of questions here, guys. Good. Oh, let me just remind you, if you have a question here, and if I don't answer it, just post it, because what'll happen is YouTube will post this within 20 minutes, this entire live stream Flippinar within 20 minutes. Just go there and just post a question there in the comments once it goes in the replay mode or available in video mode on YouTube. And I'll answer if I don't get to it tonight. And that's with Facebook also. If you're on Facebook, I'll try to go over there to my Facebook page and answer questions from on there also. Or you can get over to YouTube and I'll do the same thing. So, all right. So I lost my place here, guys. So hold on a second. I'm trying to make sure that I get everyone as much as I can anyway. David Flores said, Flip Man, can I co-wholesale in your market with you? You look very legit. Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to turn down any bread in my market, man, for sure. You find a deal here. Yeah, we can make it happen. All right. Webb says, so if you go back and ask for more time, another contract has to be wrote up, right? Well, sometimes yes, and sometimes you just change the dates on the existing contract. Depends on how, if you actually hand wrote in the spaces on your contract, then you may need to write up another one. But if it's a situation where I'm always going to send mine where it's all printed. You know, you can just edit the PDF online with PDF Escape is one place you can do it. And then I'm just going to change the dates on it and just re-sign and send it back to them for them to sign it. You know, so you can do it either or. Both ways work. All right. So back to Instagram. I'm sorry. Back to well, I hadn't gotten one on Instagram. It's already scrolled up. So Instagram, I only can see a certain amount of it. So you may have to repost your questions there. Then I'm trying to read it from a distance, and my contacts are fogged up on me. All right. All right. Teresa from Facebook says property asking 12,000. Zillow says 53. It's sold in 2014 for 19.5. So, Miss Teresa, what I would do is, what's going on, Miss Beauchamp? I would, since they're asking 12, I would probably offer them 5. And if they reject it, same spiel, then my follow-up question would be, Well, how close can you come to that amount? Another question from Facebook. Jerome says, hey, a huge fan. Thanks, Jerome, for taking in my content. Hopefully it helps. My city's population is 65,000. Is this too low to consider wholesaling here? I'm an hour away from both Jacksonville and Orlando. Well, you can try in your city. It's not too small. Obviously, not going to be a lot of opportunities. So I would definitely tell you, yeah, to make the attempt to do deals in your market. But an hour away is not that far. So I would target both Jacksonville and Orlando. Those are two huge markets. So you can kill it. You know what I'm saying? It'll be worth the drive. People drive forward and that on a 9 to 5 sometimes. So you can definitely drive that for yourself. Ms. Beauchamp responded back on Facebook that the guy was asking, that was Ms. Teresa from Facebook, was asking $2,500 earnest money. He's not a motivated seller. You know, I'm not going to deal with someone like that. Not on a property that cheap. You know, that, no. And then if I did decide to put up $2,500, I wouldn't put it in his hands. So back to YouTube. Again, thanks to everyone that's showed up tonight. Adria, her internet was down, so I'm solo tonight, so it's a little raggedy. More so, I guess, than usual. So we're not as smooth as when my girl is here spinning out this monitor and asking the question. I can just go with them. All right. All right, Taryn from YouTube says, from Riverdale, Metro Atlanta. Very familiar with Riverdale. Spent a lot of my earlier youth there. Had my cousin that I grew up with was there in Riverdale for a long time. Used to work for Delta. He's not up there anymore, but spent a lot of time in Riverdale. Old National Highway. Is it a good ideal to target homes 20 or 30 years old and up because most mortgages should be closed by then? You can't go by that. Don't even worry about the age of the house or any of that, because you just can't go by that. Let me put it like, you can. I wouldn't recommend that you do that. Just try to find great deals. You can target just target a zip code. You may want to target a certain square footage or maybe a number of baths or whatever, but don't try to get into where something is old or not, because the problem with that is, unless you've already pulled the list, and I'm assuming you're going to put it from some data source such as List Source or Melissa data, it's only going to be as accurate and informative or detailed as that county provides. Unless you know this, then I wouldn't play that cat and mouse game. I just wouldn't. All right. Rashad from YouTube says, can I wholesale a property to buyers who's using traditional bank financing? No, you can't. You got to deal with cash buyers. And you should. And if you do, I'm not going to say it's not possible, but normally something is going on that you probably shouldn't be involved in, because lenders are real finicky. They don't allow assignments, definitely not double closings. Again, something is going on you probably not should be involved in. Plus, ideally, you're in this business for deal after deal after deal. Yeah, we would all like to sell to people that get financing and we can wholesale them to them. Man, this would be even a better business than it already is, because you can increase your profit margins on deals, whatever. But I don't know at what point banks close the door on that. But again, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just telling you, normally there's something probably going on that you probably shouldn't be involved in. All right. So, and then you want repeat buyers, people that need financing in the sense that they want to live in the house. Those are not going to be repeat buyers. You leave that to realtors. You want cash buyers, guys that's going to buy over and over again every month. That's who you're looking for. All right. Another one from YouTube. All right, Desiree, I guess she's still talking about this particular deal. How will I know what the repairs, I guess, are on a property in order to plug that number into the formula? If I should not, if I guess don't, if I haven't viewed the property, unless the number, basically she's saying, how will she know what repairs to plug in? And that's a good question, very good question. What I like to say is just throw in 15 or 20,000. Gonna probably be an overestimate in some cases, but hey, you always want to have under. Sometimes it'll be underestimate. So, but in that range, that's normally going to be enough, and you're not locking yourself into a deal over the phone because you're going to definitely let them know that this is sight unseen. Yeah, that number sounds like it'll work, but once you get out there and see it, sometimes it'll be better than what you thought. Sometimes it'll be worse, or so on. So you can just throw in 15 or 20. Any one of those numbers will work. Normally, again, you're just trying to make sure you're not wasting your time after you do the formula, because the formula is just a tool that you need, that you use to make sure you're not wasting your time. It's not the end all as far as the price that you're going to roll with. In most cases, you're going to offer quite a bit less or expect quite a bit less than what the formula produces as a final number. All right, another one from Facebook. Tyra from Facebook. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm jacking you all's name up, forgive me. Do you recommend using public county records for probate deals? Well, in most cases, Tyra, that's where you're going to be able to discover your properties, unless I don't understand your question fully. So to answer your question, yes. Cyber Lady says, what software you use to structure the deal? Cyber Lady, if you could be a little bit more clear when you say software to structure a deal, I'm not sure, because it's just normally just verbal negotiations initially with the owner, and then if you all agree on a price after you viewed the property, everything checks out, you viewed the property and videoed it, as I highly recommend, then you place it under contract. It's really that simple. I don't know what software would be needed for that. If you could be a little bit more clear on your question. All right. Redrick from Facebook, just hit me up, man. If you're interested, just let me know if you're ready to rock. All right. So what we have here, back to YouTube. All right, Jim Tim said, did you get rid of the 346 units? Long story on that deal. To answer your question, no. Still trying to put something together there. The seller flaked out on us. Destiny says, I'm having trouble posting a deal on Zillow and Craigslist flag a property I just posted. With Craigslist, just repost it. You may want to look into some recent videos. Just do a search on YouTube. Basically do a search how to prevent being flagged on Craigslist, and try to look for the most recent videos posted, because you're probably doing a few things that are just going to be frowned on. Then sometimes you're just going to have flat out haters on Craigslist, but don't stop posting there. As far as the Zillow has made it more difficult to post properties if you're not a realtor and or a landlord. I actually posted one a little while ago, and I don't think it still went up. That was over a week ago. So I'm going to dig deeper into that to see what's going on with what's their process on actually posting a property, because it used to be very simple, but it's sort of difficult now. All right, Kanisha from YouTube says, how many contracts are used in wholesaling? The way I do it, you have a contract A with the seller and a contract B with your buyer. If the buyer's okay with using my contract, it's really the same contract. Obviously, it's two different. It's the same document filled out differently for the buyer, differently for the seller, but with most of the same information. It's just you're going to trade positions, earnest money is going to change, price is going to change, the dates will change. But to answer your question, just two the way I do it. All right. Again, if you're on Facebook, Facebook or Instagram, you may have to repost your question if I didn't see it. Again, we miss Adrian really bad here, but I'm trying. So let me see what we got. All right. EVO Investing says, using the contract A to B and then B to C transaction, the title company in my area said that they need an assignment page. Is this the way to get around that by just submitting both one-page contract signed? Well, if that's their requirement, that title company, then that's what you have to roll with. The great thing about it, they're probably not the only title company in your market, so if you don't like how they're structuring your deals or how they're presented, which it shouldn't be a problem what they're saying or whatever. But if you don't like that, seek out another title company that'll do it the way you want to do it. All right. All right, says I'm assuming he says I like probates because all the information is easy to get, but sometimes the family is still a little touchy. Any suggestions to get a probate under contract? Persistency. You just need persistency and follow up with those. I don't know any other answer to that. Just persistency and follow up. It may be a couple of years before they decide that they want to sell. But if you have a lot of those that you're following up on, you'll do a lot of deals. It just may take a little while to get your snowball engine to going. Part of the reason why I don't target those is, specifically they come my way, but it's not something I targeted specifically. So, but I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you that's why I don't do it. Brandon says, how effective is ListSource for finding absentee owners? Well, ListSource is not going to find an absentee owner. It's just going to provide information of a list of absentee owners with their actual mailing address. And from there, you will have to reach out to them either by mail or by phone or whatever. So I'm assuming that's what you mean, Brandon. All right, Eric Hill says, I'm not sure about the question here, so you may have to repeat that in more detail here. Maybe you weren't talking to me here. You were chatting with someone else. I've already read the one from Carlos. Do your contract work in California? And I said, yes. I guess he means CA, California, not Canada. So, all right, David from YouTube says, how do I go about finding buyers for owner financing and seller financing? Well, it'll start with your seller finance. You have to have a seller that's interested in accepting their property on terms. And then as far as the owner financing, on the buyer side, if you set up attractive terms, you just would market the property no different than you would if you were looking for cash buyers. So it starts with setting up great terms with the actual seller, and then moving forward with marketing the property once you have it tied up and you're marketing those actual terms. So we're about to go off here on Instagram, and so we're an hour deep already. Again, Adrian was not here tonight. Really appreciate everyone showing up and bearing with me trying to go between these three platforms. It's not that easy. So hopefully technology will make all of that easy in the future, or if it's something that already exists out there, definitely let me know about it. I would be interested. But anyway, so again, I'm going to read a couple of more here. See if I have anything. All right, from Facebook, Reddick said, "What's the best way to keep the cost down using list source?" Well, list source will allow you to pay for the amount you want to spend. And you got to spend a minimum of $50. There's an option there that says a partial list whenever you get to checkout in the top left, and you can reduce the cost down to the amount you want to spend. Again, you got to spend a minimum of 50. That'll get you anywhere from 350 to maybe 500 names. So it's up to you. Now, Melissa Data won't. I don't think it offers the same option, but I know it does on this source because I just paid for one today. And then Michelle from Facebook says, "Do you ever lease option?" I haven't done so in a long time, Michelle. I used to do them quite a bit. I haven't done those in a long time. It goes into management. Now you can't wholesale those, but I guess you were talking about the cash flow side of it and being able to cash out if they get financing at some point. But that gets into having some organization and management skill, and those are weaknesses for me. So I guess I said Michelle, might be Michael Page. I may be pronouncing that incorrectly, but yeah. So, but to answer your question, I have done those in the past. So over here to YouTube. When you send offers to end buyers, is it okay to give them expiration date? I guess it is. Nothing I would do. I just let guys know about the property if they're interested. You don't have to follow up with them. They'll be begging you for it. You know what I'm saying? So if you have to keep calling a guy about a property, normally it's not going to work out. Normally they're going to call you, or they don't want you to show it to anyone else. So as far as giving them an expiration date or whatever, not something that I'm going to normally do, but again, it wouldn't hurt. So guys, I'm going to round this up. We're an hour in. Again, Adrian wasn't here tonight, so appreciate everyone that showed up. This was a little different, from the last few weeks. Not having her here to read the questions. I think it just goes a lot smoother with her in the mix. Again, you can ask your questions after this post on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and do a search for live show number 11, 7617 Flippinar, and it should pull it up or whatever, within probably the first search. So you see the title here, just rip it. Just place it in the search or copy and paste it in the search about 30 minutes after this is over. And just ask your questions there, and I'll be trying my best to answer them for you. So again, I appreciate everyone that showed up. Don't forget about flipman.net, the 200 plus videos I have here on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, get over there. You can access those. And if you need coaching, step-by-step courses, I do offer that. So flipman.net, you can get access to pricing and what the options are. So again, I appreciate everyone for showing up. I wasn't sure I was going to do a show tonight, but we made it and we got it in. So I'll see you guys on the flip side.